99% of the news out there today is AI slop, distractionary nonsense, or worse, fear-mongering based outright manipulative deception and propaganda. With no desire to empower, the modern news cycle is designed to lead the hapless citizen serf along the train tracks of servitude, with only slight permissible digressions into controlled cul-de-sacs. What news show exists for the self-liberator who strives to keep up with news relevant to liberated lifestyles, second realm culture and music, and critical PAZNIA developments? What news show exists that will provide freedom pioneers with the knowledge, education, and networking connections necessary to liberate them, while also having fun? There is only one. Join host Shane, aka Rayo2, and Shadrach as they dive into the freeing and mysterious world of liberation here on the Life and Times of PAZNIA, a monthly news show from Veritas.
All right. I think I'm unmuted everywhere. The bars are moving in audio terminology, so that is always a good sign. I think we're going to go ahead and okay. All right, and this is the Life and Times of PAZNIA, monthly news from Veritas, episode number 1, streaming live on the PAZNIA radio network, the greatest and maybe most unknown radio network in existence today. I'm your host, Shane, aka Coordinator Rayo, and I'm pleased to welcome my co-host, Shadrach. Shadrach, how's it going, my friend?
Hey, pretty good. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can. Yeah, audio is pretty solid, actually. Yeah.
Cool.
I actually realized I have to get Jitsi onto the other screen to get you on screen share. So this is, we're doing this live. First time we've done it, at least with this entire setup. But there you are, you're on screen. Yeah, anyway, I guess, yeah, first off, man, thanks a lot for stepping up and joining me as a host here on the Life and Times of PAZNIA. As per usual, I just put out an open call and wasn't sure what I would get back, if anything at all. Thankfully, it wasn't just some random, and it's you, someone I met in physical space and time on multiple occasions. And you've even visited the consulate before the fire fairies flew out of the wishing machine and torched our shit. So, and thank goodness you bought out a good stock of our meat. That might have gotten incinerated when you were there. I think the last time. So I think you took some venison, lamb, and bourbon beef. So I guess first off, how'd you enjoy it?
Oh, it's incredible. I still have some, but yeah, we've been doing family barbecues with it, so it's been great.
Awesome. And there we go. There was one. I knew I was forgetting one thing. Anytime I play music on Jitsi, it nukes the audio volume for Jitsi. So I was wondering, I was like, damn, he's a little quiet, but we can deal with it. But no, you're loud again. So
okay, cool.
Awesome, awesome. But anyway, I guess Shadrach, you've had an interesting past few days. Well, I guess you travel all the time. So I guess the background noise will create a nice ambiance. I like it. I like it a lot. But you traveled across the pond again. And it's geopolitical climate. I guess where you find yourself at this time? Not at Veritas, but I'm not at Veritas either. So yeah, monthly news. I guess the news show from Veritas isn't happening from Veritas in either part. But yeah, where are you at?
Oh, I'm in a autonomous pirate island in the middle of the North Atlantic. So it's pretty exciting. I went and saw where they used to hide the rum earlier today. Went on a big long hike, so it's super cool. And a parrot just shit on my keyboard too. So
really,
damn it.
Really, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Things that I do not expect to hear on usual conversations, but I guess that's welcome to the Life and Times of PAZNIA. But yeah, I guess yeah, here on the Life and Times of PAZNIA, we've got a lot of exciting things in store. The show will be broken up into 4 segments: self-liberation news, freedom pioneer focus, and freedom music spotlight. There is kind of the segment 2, and Vonu Life digital message board. So messages and such. And number 4, second realm strategy session. For self-liberation news, I've got a few ideas News on liberated lifestyles will, of course, be covered. For example, regulations and such that infringe on van nomadism, off-grid homesteading, maybe homeschooling, etc. We'll keep you apprised of events and gatherings taking place at Veritas and beyond, as well as general PAZNIA news and updates. And I'm afraid for this, at least for this episode, and maybe in the next one too, there will be a little current news per se, geopolitical discussion, because in terms of coercion and becoming invulnerable to it, I think like this, the world could change, quite a bit, in the next months, let alone years. So there's a lot to talk about. And maybe we'll harken back to the Libertarian Attack Radio days back in like 2015 when I used to do like at least 4 hours of live radio a week. See if I remember how to do it. I think so. But we did a segment called Fascist Book News, and back then we'd look at basically the trending news on Facebook and get into the mind of what's important to the citizen serve. In addition to taking a glance at what those who falsely imagine themselves to be our rulers are forcing in front of the faces of everyone. A decade later, and I'm not on Facebook anymore, and I'm not sure such a method will bode as well anyway, since even the trending news on, say, X seems to be algorithmically driven and not so much general. But we'll give it a go and see how it transpires. Might not be that good of content. But anyway, that's self-liberation news, self-explanatory enough. The next segment will likely be a combination of Freedom Pioneer Focus and Freedom Music Spotlight. It will be tonight. For the former, we'll discuss and examine the work of a Freedom Pioneer, and maybe even conduct a short interview sometime in the future. For the latter, we might play the lyric music video for a song, discuss the themes, artist, music, if there's a cool story or something. The third segment, Vonu Life Digital Message Board. Herein we'll cover fan mail, read and discuss things mentioned in the always hopping PAZNIA Simple X chats. That is what we can read on here without surely being banned on YouTube. We're treading a fine line, and we're on that. And this video will be banned in Russia because of the intro song play, our intro song. So the Russians are gonna get fucked on that note. But sorry guys, just don't watch on YouTube. Anyway, so read XMR. We'll read XMR chats during this part. Take your call-ins, and I suppose you can leave messages in the YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, or Zap.stream chats, and I will try to get to those. But let me just check. Okay, stream is still going. Worst case scenario, we are recording. If things do go down, we'll still be fine. But we would like to make this happen. We got people. I mean, the Simple X chat's still going. So this is cool. Thanks for joining us all this evening, guys. But anyway, those first three segments will be around 30 minutes maybe, but the fourth will be at least a full hour. We'll have to experiment with timing. I really have no idea how it's going to work out. Finally, that fourth segment, Second Realm Strategy Hour. This is where we will discuss the strategy, tactic, or tool of the month. Maybe we'll dive back into the old Vonu zines publications, which I haven't done in a long time. Might be a good thing to get back into doing. Something I've been wanting to integrate into the PAZNIA Radio Network is called something like Bludgy Body Cam Reviews. I used to be a fan of the show Cops, but for different reasons. Now with the advent of the endless police body cam videos, you can learn some really interesting shit. You can easily tell how centralized all of the training is throughout the USSA. There's good knowledge on role-playing police interrogations, and better yet, they're definitely relevant inadvertent intelligence leaks per se that come out. Because the people who redact these things, a lot of times they have no idea what they're and they're just normal people. It's like the people that redact stuff in court documents. But we'll probably test pilot that here sometime in the near future. But as the plan for the Life and Times of PAZNIA. Monthly news show from Veritas, which will be live every third or fourth Friday. Which will be live every third or fourth Saturday of the month. I repeat, every third or fourth Saturday of the month, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, as part of our weekly Self-Liberation Saturday transmissions. Reminds me of Acapulco a little bit. But anyway, for today, though, if you want to call in, we'll get to those here shortly. We do have, I still think we have a couple people, at least, one person, they're chilling out in Jitsi, but we don't have any callers yet. But if you want to call in, you definitely can. That's PAZNIA.com/call2. We'll get to those here shortly. And you can leave a message at xmrchat.com/PAZNIA radio. Or I guess the other ways, again, PAZNIA, the PAZNIA Radio Network Simple X chat. I'll be checking on that momentarily. But without further ado, to make this a really high quality production.
This is Self-Liberation News. No fluff, no bullshit, no propaganda. keeping you apprised with developments regarding liberated lifestyles, PAZNIA, second realm gatherings in physical space and time, and more. And now your host, your humble radio deacon, programming coordinator Rayo.
All right. Anyway, so self-liberation news here on the PAZNIA Radio Network. I might do those, or I might not. We'll see. But anyway, so current events. Most I guess usually won't play into self-liberation news. I don't think so. That was never the intention. I don't like current events. I don't like news like that, because usually it's just we talked about it on Libertarian Tech Radio before. The news cycle, it's not good. But pause for the truck. There we go. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, there's definitely a few words to say about the currently developing geopolitical situation, and especially as it pertains to coercion and freedom. And I guess just the first thing that comes to mind, and it's just kind of, I would have just said this generally for the Middle East for the past 20 years, but it's probably not a good time to make like a trip to Iran or Israel if you had those, on the docket. Maybe postpone those. And just be a good general piece of advice. I guess one that's not a piece of advice that's not tongue in cheek a little bit. Consider adding depending upon on what what the funds you have available. It wouldn't be a bad idea to add a bit extra to your food or wellness or hardware stores, storage. And when I say hardware, I mean like even like computer hardware. Because I think helium might become hard to come by, and that's needed for computer chips. And then Taiwan might be, I don't know, softly taken over by China. I think that's the situation. But anyway, hardware costs are going to go up. I think they already kind of have.
And there's loads of hardware shortages right now with the RAM shortages, and this is really the time to be finding any old Dell desktop that people are getting rid of. I picked up a couple nice ThinkPads off eBay for $100 that had 16 gig of RAM in them. So this is the time to be collecting that stuff. We're going to need it.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Thane's been saying that for a couple of months, and I thought about it, and just never got around to capitalizing on it. But thankfully, I've been stocking up on just over the past 4 or 5 years, so many Ghost pads, Ghost tablets, and all that. Anyway, I guess the other thing I'll mention here is, again, I don't like to. I guess Thane has said it pretty much the entire time he's done his show. So for the past year. Didn't give him enough credit on that one. But I guess there is a potential, to see some sort of a COVID lockdown round 2. Only it'll just be kind of like a different details and context. But this time they'll just maybe gas shortages, because gas goes up to $10 a gallon or something. Maybe there'll be some false flag terrorism. Who knows? You never know what's going to play out in the movie of the Servile Society. It's going to be exciting.
They say the fuel fire in Texas, there was chatter about from Iran about a different refinery that was nearby, so that could be related.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah, like a day or two before they were talking about something. I heard something about that too. You never know. You really never know. And just again, like I said, they're like with the beyond what I said, I don't really have any of it. We don't really know what the world's going to look like, and where's the show going to be in or I guess what's the world going to look like in a month when we do our show next time? I don't know. Like if Iran nukes Israel, Israel might not exist anymore. And I never thought that and that's kind of hyperbolic maybe. I guess just one that's not hyperbolic is I never thought, I'd see the end of the U.S. in the Middle East. It's just one of those things that you never think, or it's not like there's no government now, but it's the switch from government to corporations. Government's taken I guess sort of a more backseat to the Palantir field type. So I don't know. It's a different. The coercion's still there. It's just different factions. And it's interesting to watch the movie play out. I guess is where I'm at. But where are you at, Shadrach? Shadrach, you do a lot more traveling, and I guess you're a lot closer over there. So yeah, what are your thoughts and perspectives?
Well, I was planning after this trip to go to Southeast Asia to do some medical tourism, but I don't even want to fly anywhere near the Middle East at this point. So I've canceled that. It's pretty scary. I wouldn't. This trip was planned a long time ago, but I would be holding up in the States if I had a choice.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. And I don't yeah, I don't usually follow geopolitics, but this seems pretty important. Not even necessarily like even if it's not World War III, the worst case scenario. Like we're watching a complete, I guess, shift of the whole geopolitical stage, energy and industrial resources and all of that. So yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out.
I think there's a bit of a silver lining with respect to the city of London having really set up Iran, set up Israel, set up Palestine. So it could come down to bigger fish at play than really we've been thinking about.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's certainly possible. We're just taking a look here at make sure we're missing anything. Nope, we are not. That is good. That is good. But yeah, I guess that's is that all the current events? Yeah, I suppose so. So I guess now just for some more general self-liberation news. We'll start with I guess kind of a sad one. Um, the sad one is that I came across. Yeah, this was earlier this month. The end of Parallelonipolis. Parallelonipolis, where the Institute of Crypto Anarchy happens. There in Prague. I've talked about it a lot. Here on the on the podcast. And it's a sad day. That seems like that's closing down. But the positive of this, and what is more important to share, is what's coming further. And I guess this is more of just the events are still happening. The Parallelonipolis is just closing down. And I guess
Yeah, I was there last year. It was really nice, but yeah, they're doing Dark Prague at a different location this year. So things will go on. Prague is I'm super bullish on the Czech Republic.
Yeah. No, that was definitely one of the places. If I were to make a trip across the pond, it would be to go to Scotland and Prague. Different reasons for each, but yeah, no, Prague is. I mean, that's where crypto anarchy really started. Like the second book on strategy, and #Agora, the fiction book that was released in like 2010 or something. Like these folks were in Germany or Prague, traveling around Europe, whatever. That's where all this stuff kind of started, or I guess the radical strain that a lot of us pertain to. But yeah, Dark.events is the site, and I just opened Dark Prague. So Dark Prague this year is October 2nd to 4th, 2026. Interesting. So yeah, I guess now you guys know. If you're in Europe and want to check out these events, you definitely, or if you aren't in Europe and you can find a way to get over to Prague and check those out, they are most certainly worth it.
Yeah, they have some pretty good trust laws. There's a few citadels popping up in the Czech Republic, basically land trusts so that they can't be taken away. So
Gotcha.
It's going good.
Gotcha. All right, so the other piece of self-liberation news I just saw come across Twitter yesterday, and I wanted to wait to verify and see it from Matt Hill first, because it was kind of a sketchy website. It wasn't a sketchy website, but they put their logo on a product image for a different site. So I was like, and there was a fundraising site for Start9. So I was like, I'm gonna wait a day and see, and just make sure that someone's not fundraising for a fake Start9 product, but it's not. It's the real deal. And along with this with what I'm showing here on screen for the viewers, when Dave was on with Thane on Cloak and Dagger last time, one of the things I guess Dave kind of expressed some frustration about was that they hadn't shipped a new OS in a while. There'd been this long-awaited OS for a while, and apparently it just dropped. Long-awaited, and with that, they're crowdfunding for. Let's see. So privacy router. Start9 router.
Yeah. Yeah, they've finished their router code. They've got all the hardware sitting there. They're just waiting to put the OS on it. They're going to release it alongside the new version of StartOS. But I'm actually working on I don't want to say competing, but a comparable product that's a full home server node implementation. And yeah, I talked to Dave a bit about it as well. But we're kind of taking a different approach and going for super slick user interface, and not focusing on it's not just a Bitcoin node with other stuff you can add on to it. It's got really good file storage. So we announced that at South by Southwest last week. Goodness.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, you want to share any more about it? Is there a website or any hard details that are available?
No, we're kind of not interested in promoting it. We're kind of expecting more of an attraction type of thing, word of mouth. But I did set up, if you go to archipelago-foundation.org, that's a new initiative that I've done, which is basically after all the samurai bullshit, and all of these, open sats and even HRF, they're all 501c3, so they have to dox all of their recipients. So I wanted to create a completely anonymous funding source for freedom tech development.
Gotcha.
But yeah, our product's called Archipelago. So it's basically lots of, every server is an island, but it's connected to all the other islands. That's the idea.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So let me see. There was one. Oh, I think there was one other item, or I had it open at least. Maybe I took it off did it disappear off my list? Maybe it was a different section. Yeah, it's a different section. That's okay. So anyway, more. I guess we'll go to more PAZNIA news now. And this is the very first time things mentioned a few times, and it's something it's not something I'm super hyped about in terms of like the video game aspect of it. But there was a self-liberator in the PAZNIA SimpleX group, who was there's something called Mindtest, basically an open source Minecraft server. Obviously fully moddable, all of that. And the way the person presented it, and if they wanted me to become interested, this is the way to present it. They're like, in A Lodging of Wayfaring Man by Paul Rosenberg, there was the free digital economy, where they hid a free digital economy in a video game, and I was like, okay, you've got my attention. Let's talk about this. So there's a SimpleX group called PAZCraft. And yeah, if you go to PAZNIA.com/SimpleX, you can find a link to that. And I think PAZNIA.com/PAZCraft too is its own link. But you can find, it's really, you can log onto the server and you can check it out. There's since I logged on a few days ago, there's been quite a bit added to it, and kind of some unhinged stuff. That I appreciate. I will show one. I will put one on screen. It's absolutely fantastic. I took a screenshot of it yesterday. Let me put this up on full screen and find this picture.
As someone who's never run Minecraft, is it like, do you have to install anything? Is it browser based?
So it's called Luanti, and you can even it's so low. It requires so little that you can even download it on your phone. Like I even tested it out on the phone and it worked fine. But yeah,
that's kind of what I was hoping for, because especially if we end up with organizing and coordinating inside of that, I think it'd be really cool to have that on the phone.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Where the hell did I put these screenshots? I'll track it down. I'll track it down as we're talking. No, there were there were people talking about like really deep cryptography, like hidden what's it called? Basically hiding in images or binary code, like just telling people to go somewhere on a map and look at the binary code. Like there's some and then basically a way to I guess connect and I don't know. Anyway, here's the picture. This is good. Just to give y'all an idea, and you won't be able to see this on your screen. I could, but that would be too complicated right now. It'd fry my brain if I try to go that many layers deep. But anyway, for the fine YouTube, Odyssey, Zap.Stream, and Rumble viewers, what you are seeing on screen right now is what's called Redacted Stein Island, and it looks like you would imagine it would, Shadrach. It's Epstein Island, and Abkhazia, the person who built it, said that it's better to go in the dungeons in the daytime because the children are awake. I don't know what that means. I've been too terrified to go find out. But yeah, you could see. Yeah, there it is. Unbelievable. Some unhinged folks in there, but they're builders. They are builders, for sure.
In semi-related gaming news, I think Thane may have mentioned, I put up a link to FIPS, which is affectionately fuck IPs, but basically it uses npubs instead of IP addresses, and we just launched a Quake 3 arena server. Basically, you connect to it via an npub.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I've been following. I guess so. Like I've been big into Halo for a long time, and the Halo 2 servers went offline in like 2009 or something, and the Halo 3 servers aren't that. It lost a lot of features, and when they released it, so now it's really awesome now to watch a bunch of people who aren't necessarily like into open source like for the reasons we are, but they're basically like just basically open sourcing and creating like alternative Xbox Lives to where Halo 2's back online again.
Wow.
These like kind of peer-to-peer way, the way it used to be.
Yep.
Kind of like Skype used to be peer-to-peer. So like it worked better until these asshole centralized corporations came in and bought it up and made it shit. But it's good they did that because it forced us to actually build out the solutions. But but yeah, I guess that's PAZCraft. If anyone's interested in checking that out, PAZNIA.com/PAZCraft. Hop on in there. It is certainly interesting. Next thing I'll mention, just I gotta mention as much as I can, VonuPodcast.com/book. You can download free Vonu Libertarian zines. I think there's an ad played a couple of times. Throw them on flash drives. Put them in your 55-gallon drums, whatever. But go to VonuPodcast.com/book and download that, share that shit. Now for PAZNIA events and gatherings. Next month marks the first PAZNIA gathering of this year for vetted self-liberators. From April 24th to 27th, we'll accumulate once again at Veritas to ring in the spring. Though this time, Or and I will be camping right alongside you, and a cleanup of the somewhat recent destruction will still be underway. Towards the end of last year, we finished construction, but not final installation, of an outdoor composting outhouse and propane shower. The shower was functional for Vonu Fest and should be this year. But we will, not the toilet won't be, but we'll get a porta potty, different arrangements will be arranged, all that good stuff. Strange to say this, preparing for a PAZNIA event, but we will have no meat for sale, no eggs, no produce, no grill for anyone to cook on. There won't be any community meals, and hopefully this will be the only PAZNIA event where such thing will have to be the case. So yeah, what we can ensure though is a liberating experience in our Church of Self-Liberation. Our nature sanctuary, alongside other freedom pioneers, celebrating autonomy and the expansion of freedom in a world so ever devolving into chaos, confusion, and ever-growing servitude. And I guess now into World War III, maybe, but hopefully we can avoid that. If you're already vetted and planning to come, we look forward to seeing you then. If you aren't vetted and wish to attend, there's probably still time. Just email me at coordinator@PAZNIA.com, and we'll see what we can make happen. Again, April 24th to 27th is the date of the first PAZNIA gathering for this year. We do hope you come out and spend some time with us in the second realm. So Shadrach, you got anything on your mind before we move on to the second segment here?
Yeah, right after that, there's a gathering in Farmland, Missouri. A bunch of really good sovereignty people out there. They do a sovereignty breakfast once a month, and they're doing a 2-day event. May 1st and 2nd. So if anyone's interested, get on the chat, ask me about it.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. And I just realized that I do not have the video. I've got the video already. I got the video. I got to get the video on VLC. But anyway, for Freedom Pioneer Focus. Let me see here. Drag and drop that there. So for this month, anyone who's been a longtime listener to the PAZNIA podcast, or I guess for the past few months, you would have heard him. His name is Greg Dowd from the Tinker Tribe podcast. Really cool dude. And for Freedom Pioneer Focus, I at least for this one, we'll see if I do it every time if I have the time to. But I put together a little. It's a 10-minute video. I guess compilation of some projects that he did. And we'll go ahead and share that again. Shadrach, if you want to watch, you might have to pull it up on YouTube or something. I'm not sure if that's conducive to your situation, but otherwise you'll just be listening. But for the listeners, please do enjoy. We'll be back momentarily with more.
You tired of feeling like a slave? What are you gonna do if the power goes out and you can't chat with your AI girlfriend? What's your plan? Make your AI girlfriend happy. Learnify yourself. Get some knowledge. Learn about solar. Check out the Tinker Tribe event on November 15th.
This is an example of a past project of about 14 kilowatts worth of solar that we helped install for a guy's house, and it was a really fun project. So there is a lot of experience that we're bringing to the table when you're coming out to check out this workshop. No cap. Check out the event in the description. It's going to be an empowering workshop where you're going to get hands-on experience putting together a system and understanding how you can put one of these together yourself.
Welcome to the Tinker Tribe. Welcome. We ain't here.
So this will be the pathway down to where the cabin's going to be, and this is what we got done today. We poured the footings, me and Logan and myself poured the footings for the beams that we're going to use for the support structure, some 6x6s. So this is going to be basically a 16, if you include the deck, by 12 foot little cabin, and so it'll have a little porch on the front of it, and it'll be looking down into the
forest here, so it's gonna be pretty cool. Really happy with what we got done today, and got all these poured. We're able to use water that I collected, and we're able to pump that water down here so that that we can mix the concrete, and did it all with our power tools and everything like that, so worked out really well. So stay tuned, more to come, and yeah, really excited with how we're moving along here. All right, y'all, so finishing up for the day, and Logan and I out here getting this structure started. And so this is going to be the support structure for the floor of the little cabin. So, and it's going to have a little deck on the end of it as well. But yeah, got a lot done today. We're both exhausted. Yep. So wrapping it up, but yeah, moving along. This is really cool. We'll catch you next time. We're going to be taking a little bit of a break and getting right back at it in another couple weeks. So, but yeah, here we are so far, and it's looking great. We'll catch you guys later. First test on the laser engraver. Just gonna go through like a few runs, a few passes with the laser to burn in the stuff a little better. So just a small little test piece I'm doing here, just to kind of get that hang of using the thing. Gotta wear these glasses when you're running this thing. But it's pretty cool. Snapmaker 2.0. Just set this thing up, giving it a little test. Seems pretty straightforward. Just gotta figure out how I can bring in different types of art. If I can import images and things like that. But pretty good for the first initial test of this thing. Looks like I could do more passes
on the engraving. But this is the initial result from I think like 3 passes with the laser on a 1.5 millimeter thick piece, and basically this is like I think like a 80 millimeter by 44 millimeter area that it engraved on. So yeah, this was the first try and first attempt at this, and I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Definitely got some more tinkering to do to figure it out a little better, but that's the first go at it. Success. We'll call that a success. Gonna tweak it some more and keep playing with it, but I got it running.
Oh, get the right things open here, and I'm clicking random stuff. That's okay. We'll get back to it. And I got to unmute it so you can hear me, Shadrach. So
I can hear you.
think all the buttons have been clicked. And
All
it will get smoother, my friends. Bear with me here. But yeah,
this is not easy. We did and thank you very much for helping us out with South by Worldwide. That was an incredible segment that Thane did. So we really appreciate the collaboration. And this is the kind of spirit that's gonna help us win.
Yeah, no, I agree, and there definitely needs to be, some follow up on that, on actually formal networking and organizing between between our, I guess, your Austin Bitcoin network folks, Lab 484, and PAZNIA. I'm sure there's a lot more. It's just there's so much stuff to be done. We got to do it. We got to do it though.
Well, and our MCs were from Kansas City, and we've got really strong groups in the Midwest. So
Okay,
it's
yeah.
time for everybody to get together.
Yeah, most certainly. So yeah, that was Greg Dowd from the Tinker Tribe podcast, and also a community. If you want more on Greg, you can go to VoniPodcast.com and just search for his name or search for Tinker Tribe. I was on his show, and then I had him on Vonu Podcast Live a month or two after, so you can dig much more into what he's doing. And I would recommend that you do. He's been doing this for a long time. There are a lot of folks that I've been doing this. I started Liberty Tech Radio back February 2015. So I've been doing this for like 11 years, over 11 years. And over that time, I've, talked to hundreds of people, and most of them have dropped out and really don't pursue the self-liberation stuff anymore. So anytime I can find someone that's been around for, any stretch of time that's doing cool stuff, they're most certainly worth following and checking out and collaborating with. Another community. That could be certainly a valuable connection for PAZNIA. All right, so this next one here, I came across this on Twitter. It was some random product. It was a cool idea, so I was going to talk about it. And then Jamin Pekonik, our hardware hacker friend, shared an open source project, projectnomad.us. And it was the same sort of idea as what this one was, but this one you could just toss onto a ghost probably a ghost pad, most definitely a ghost station, one of these bigger laptops like what I'm streaming on now. But yeah, so it's knowledge. I'm sharing on screen for the viewers. But projectnomad.us, knowledge that never goes offline. Wikipedia, AI maps, and education tools running on your own hardware, completely free, no internet required. So for for a little more here, information library, offline access to Wikipedia, medical references, how-to guides and encyclopedias, an education platform with courses, and what is that word? Why is that so small? Good video exercises, AI assistant, local AI chats that runs entirely on your hardware. offline maps, knowledge base that you can upload your own stuff to, easy setup. You can install your own apps, etc. And it's open source. And Jamin shared that with me, and I was like, that is worthy of Freedom Pioneer Focus. Whoever there was the person that came out with this, that's pretty useful. What do you think, Shadrach?
Yeah, no, I saw that too. I really, I'm really excited to poke around with that. That's a perfect project for all of us.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And yeah, at some point I'll have Jamin toss that onto a just a ghost pad. Be pretty cool system.
Yeah.
For sure. So next, I guess we'll do kind of a little bit of an ad here, and I guess a little bit of an ad. But for Freedom Pioneer Focus, Jamin Bakonik is definitely a Freedom Pioneer that is worthy of your focus and worthy of your money. You can support Jamin and support me by getting a Ghost Pad, Ghost Tablet, Ghost Station, Ghost Router, Ghost Server, etc. While stepping up your security culture. Just visit libertarianattack.com/privacy tools to place an order, or if you want to help Thane out, if Thane's still listening, he'll deride me if I don't say this. Go to libertarianattack.com/Thane. Make sure he gets his cut. He's most deserving of it. So yeah, libertarianattack.com/Thane to check out all the privacy tools available there, or just email me shane@libertarianattack.com, or reach out on Simplex or wherever, and we can communicate privately and come up with a custom solution. So now, which again, not prepared. I should have this up. Well, I should have it downloaded, but I decided I was going to do it lazy and just play it from Fascist Tube. But our Freedom Music Spotlight today is a band that if you've heard any Metal Mondays, you've heard this band. They're called Defiance, and they're a band from I think Ohio, and it's crazy. It was probably 2012 or somewhere around that time. My brother, some of our friends went to a Warped Tour in Chicago, and there was just these few dudes that were just passing out free CDs in the parking lot. And they gave me the album that came before this and this one, and it just sat in my car for like 2 years. And then I finally put it in. I was like, holy shit, this is some great politicore. I guess a subgenre of metal, where they kind of talk about political subjects and ideas. But yeah, this one's Defiance, We the Machines. Now that we've been talking about how you should get more electronics and all of that, we're gonna have Defiance tell you and show you. I guess maybe a little bit of caution with this sort of thing. But anyway, this is a Freedom Music Spotlight here on the PAZNIA Radio Networks, the Life and Times of P.A.Z.NIA. Please enjoy Defiance, We the Machines. Oh, gosh.
You can do it.
There we go. She's going.
Building the god of technology.
there we do. That was a quick transition. I'm proud of that one. But all right, that was that was
Damn,
We the
that
Machines by Affiance.
hell yeah, that's awesome.
Now, Affiance is no more, but they same members and everything, but they rebranded to a band called Knight Rider, and it's kind of what's the word? Oh God, it's kind of like techno metal. Techno metal kind of. It's a little bit of a different vibe. It's not necessarily political, but there was a few months there where it was like a steady jam for a long time. So yeah, Affiance and Knight Rider. I mean, they aren't a big band at all. I've messaged them a couple. I've dropped like a dozen YouTube comments like, open invitation to come play at Vonu Fest. Send me an email.
I was just gonna say we got.
Yeah,
damn. I was hoping we could get them.
They're in Ohio, so like they aren't that far away. It's
Yeah.
yeah, one of those bands that would be awesome. Yeah, awesome to get out there. And yeah, just small band. Again, just so humble, just passing out free CDs in the parking lot at Warped Tour. I appreciate it. I'm not saying I wouldn't have ever found them, but I don't know when I would have. If I wouldn't have gotten those free CDs. Oh, those were the days. Back when I was smoking spice joints at Warped Tour. That's not good. Not good, my friends. Different times. But anyway, I guess
I would love to give a shameless shout out to Stardust. If you haven't seen their RIP video, it's incredible, and they're going to be playing with Richard Greaser at the Revolution.Rocks festival. That's going to be in Belgrade, coming up in June. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Richard Greaser's gone international.
Holy, yeah. I guess he has. My word. Yeah. So one of these, maybe next month, we'll make Stardust the Freedom Pioneer, or the Freedom Music Spotlight next month. I think we will. That's a good idea. Cool. That is a very good idea. I'm glad you brought it up. Holy shit, I'm going to reach out to Richard. That's pretty impressive. Not to Belgrade, of all places. Yeah. I mean, that's not the location that comes to mind too often. But anyway, I guess this is the segment here, and I guess we're actually not terrible on just kind of rolling with the flow. The idea was this would be the last segment before we go to break, around the hour mark, and we're actually kind of on track. So yeah, if you want to give us a call when you come back from break, PAZNIA.com/call2. Again, PAZNIA.com/call2. Again, PAZNIA.com/simplex if you want to leave us a message in any of our various simplex groups. I've got a lot to catch up on. Chat's been blowing up for the past few hours, and I haven't been able to read like any messages, so it's going to be fun tonight.
Nice.
Thank you guys.
And don't forget Zap.stream.
Yes. Yeah. There's
live on Zap.stream.
Yep. Definitely zap us some Bitcoin. We certainly appreciate that. And the other one, the most reliable one so far, xmrchat.com/PAZNIA radio. I don't have the full spiel that Thane does offhand, but there's the XMR chat PAZNIA radio special, where if you make a donation of $20 or more US to xmrchat.com/PAZNIA radio, leave an email address for me, and let me know that Thane sent you for a digital self-liberation bundle, and I will get that to you. You can also super DM on XMR chat, which is a pretty cool feature. So yeah, if you don't want to dox your email address to the general public, which is a smart thing not to do. But again, XMR chat does defend against that. When there's an email put in there, it automatically marked it as private, to where it wouldn't show it on OBS. So they have privacy precautions in there anyway. But if you're hyper paranoid, and you probably should be, you can super DM on XMR chat if you like. But
yeah, huge thanks to XMR chat. They've been doing some incredible work.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I've got to work on something I want to do at some point, like when we start getting more regular donations for live streams. I want to get the integration set up to where it'll show the donation on screen. I tried testing out a little bit when Thane was live, but I'll have to figure out why that don't work with OBS. Maybe it's because I'm using one that's like 16 versions before. Maybe that's why it won't work. That actually might be why. But I wouldn't be able to use OBS if I didn't use that version. So whatever. We'll figure it out. That's neither here nor there. We'll get on to the Vonu Life digital message board. And I wanted to start with a short message board submission by yours truly to Vonu Life 25 Resurrected. And there's a reason for it. It might sound a little, off kilter at first, but But it's Vonu history, at least, if that's the only thing you care about. But hopefully more by the time we get done with this. But this is called the Kerry Thornley Conspiracy Corner, the second Oswald shooter of J.D. Tippett and deep naval intelligence. That's all right. He knows we're on to a banger here to close out this first hour. A number of years back, Liberty Type Publications published a book by Kerry Thornley titled "The Permanent Floating Voluntary Society." Of course, at that time, like 99.9% of the rest of the world, I had not read. Still haven't read a lot of them. Garrison's files pertaining to his investigation of the JFK assassination. On the front page of Garrison's file on Thornley, it references Officer J.D. Tippett. The only reason local police gave a shit and began to investigate the assassination was sparked by the killing of a bludge, or a cop. Kerry Thornley pulled the final trigger to kill aforesaid Officer Tippett, which brought the local bludge into action, local cops. You see, most everyone wanted JFK dead at that time, and Kerry Thornley, certainly being deep naval intelligence, shadowed Oswald in the late 1950s. He literally wrote a book on all of this before the assassination happened. It was called The Idle Warriors, and served as one of the individuals setting up Oswald for the assassination. Oswald and Marina's neighbors weren't even sure which one she was married to, Kerry Thornley or Lee, because they looked so much alike and they were both there that often. Kerry Thornley first supported the official story, which can be seen in old Vonu zines. I thought that was when I was one of the very first innovators, or preform, inform, whatever publication it was. When I saw stuff about JFK assassination there, I was like, well, this seems kind of weird and out of place. Yeah. But anyway, he did. Yeah, it appeared. Yes, he first supported the official story, and then a handful of years later, in those same Vonu zines, he claimed that Oswald was a patsy. And then a decade later, he basically implicated himself in the entire thing in hyper-public statements discussed in books such as In History's Shadow by Joe G. Biles and Caught in the Crossfire, Kerry Thornley, Lee Harvey Oswald, and the Garrison Investigation. There's a lengthy letter he wrote on May 27th, 1992, found in Caught in the Crossfire. That is basically a confession. What he did is connect himself directly to many of those involved and basically laid out all of the players. An excerpt from that letter, and again, these are his words, quote, "I point out to Dr. Redacted that with no effort on my part at all, I have met an unusually large number of accused JFK assassins. I was a college fraternity pledge brother of Gordon Novell, a suspect on the Garrison probe. I was in the Marines with Lee Harvey Oswald. In New Orleans, on separate and apparently unconnected occasions, I met Guy Bannister, David Ferry, and Clay Shaw, Garrison's three main suspects, before the assassination. A few weeks before the assassination, I discussed killing Kennedy with David Chandler, a stringer for Life magazine, who was also on Garrison's suspect list. That same year, 1966, independent of any of these other meetings, I met Mafia Don Johnny Roselli, accused of firing the fatal shot from the grassy knoll that actually killed the president. If I believe that I have met eight accused assassins and 3 accused accessories after the fact by coincidence, then I would be crazy, and I confine myself to the officially accused. At least 4 others I have met have been accused in private conversations with people who seem to know what they were talking about," end quote. And I guess the final point here, before the reason I bring this up at all, do you also recall the second Oswald taken out from the second floor of the theater? That was Kerry Thornley. And unlike most patsies or agents, he was protected, not killed. And I will just, for the full brutal, gory details, check out Corey Hughes' Bloody History podcast. I also had Corey on the Vonu podcast a number of times to talk about this. And he did just the Kerry Thornley subject alone on this podcast was like 20 plus hours. There's a lot of it. Kerry, I don't know what to think about Kerry. Participating in that and then going on to write for these publications and writing he wrote something good enough that I published it as a book before I knew about all this stuff. But I bring this up in general just to point out that the counterculture of the 1960s, there was a lot more controlled opposition, and it's a lot more infiltrated than what I would have liked to have realized when you tie in things like this and the Discordian society. And then kind of like the weird free market libertarian stuff that was going on with the big Coke donors, and I don't want to get too much into it, but I've kind of come to the conclusion that anarcho-capitalism, like the theory is like, I don't have anything wrong with the theory per se, or people that call themselves anarcho-capitalists, but it's most definitely a tool used to further the corporate states. Kind of like because I know when I was an early libertarian, I was naive and stupid, and was like, yeah, well, Facebook banned you. Well, they can do that. They're a private company. It's like, well, no, they were funded and founded, I guess, founded by Incutel, the CIA. So you can't really claim free speech on that. But anyway, like I think it goes deep. The kind of the libertarian stuff goes deeper than what I previously thought, and like kind of the controlled opposition infiltration. In those days, even like obscure publications like these Vonu zines. So just just keep that in mind. I don't know what else I'd offer. You got anything, Shadrach?
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over the libertarian stuff. We were all there.
Oh no, I don't beat myself up over it. No, it's just the more that I learn about the 20th century, it's you can just see the tentacles everywhere. And I shouldn't drop this in here, but I'm going to. The other fun bonus is that I'm trying to recall. I guess Vonu Life Resurrected, it would have. I think it would have been in there. Maybe not, but there was one other very, very, I guess, popular person, for better or worse, in the late 1960s that was very into ciphers. Lived in the San Francisco area. Liked killing people. And his killing name had to do with constellations or like the sky. So that guy, just do a search for Paul Dore, the Zodiac Killer, and I'll leave that little teaser for y'all. And we won't spend any more time on that. I like to mention that because the 20th century is a mess. Is a damn mess. And
well, it didn't help that the CIA was running drug clinics and dosing everyone up on LSD. So, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So, all right, now just a couple messages here from the. There's more I could read. Like I said, I could sit here and we could sit here for 2 or 3 hours and just read messages. We're not going to do that. But so Shadrach, I shared on the PAZNIA chat and elsewhere. You posted on Noster. Where you were going to be recording from, the rooftop with the Starlink, and oh god, I just scrolled down. I just screwed myself. No, I didn't. Okay, so visit Republika Abkhazia. This is a guy in the Symbolics group. I don't know if he's an official representative of the Republic of Abkhazia. From what this guy says and what's on their website, I don't think so. But and it just Anyway. So anyway, he says, and this is, I wanted to get your thoughts on this, Shadrach. He says, that's our boy. His role as co-host has been promised to him 3,000 years ago, and finally it's happening with the Star of David and a 100. So I think it's because because of the Shadrach.
Oh wow.
So you're fulfilling the prophecy.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
what I will say is that Mr. Abkhazia, you'll be happy to know that, and I guess Shadrach doesn't know this either. But next month for monthly news from Veritas, Shadrach will be streaming live from the Temple Mount in Jerusalem for the episode of PAZNIA Radio Network. So,
do I have to bring a red heifer?
You have to. Well, I mean, if you make it through the bombs, I don't know, or the missiles, I don't. We'll have to get some insurance for this one. I'm not sure if the PAZNIA insurance is. I don't know if it's high enough for a venture like this, but we'll try to make it happen, Shadrach, at the Temple Mount in Jerusalem to fulfill the prophecy.
All right.
So anyway, the other comments, and it's just such astute, knowledgeable information that we have to share it. So about that, this is Abkhazia again. As a professional in geopolitics, I thought I should address and it's from that region too. So I don't remember what exact country, but he would know better than us. So 2 common misconceptions that are recurring on the show. What is colloquially referred to as Iran is in fact not a state, but a cold, savory yogurt-based beverage that is consumed across Central Asia, the Balkans, and the Middle East. And the second correction, information about the information about the blockage of the Strait of Hormuz were mostly correct. However, it was never used to supply oil to any other state. As the name suggests, it was used to supply other countries with hummus. Please address the inaccuracies. So we have addressed the inaccuracies. And
thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Where would it be without it? So anyway, I guess like I said, there are a lot of other messages, some funny, some more serious, but not safe here for YouTube. And I would recommend you go in and check it out. it's a good time. It's a very, very good time. But yeah, 5 minutes late. We're not that bad on time. So yeah, we'll go to break here, and when we'll be back. We'll come back with Second Realm Strategy Session and get past some of the nonsense and get into some more serious stuff. But for now, we will go to break.
See y'all soon.
Now, when it comes to weird alternative health shit, you may have heard of Brown's gas, boss, aka molecular hydrogen. Technically, actually, molecular hydrogen is just one part of what Brown's gas is, but whatever. It's a kind of wellness treatment used by health professionals and weirdos all over the world, both mainstream and otherwise. They got gas bars in Japan and shit. Big body of research showing that this therapy likely helps with pretty much everything: cancer, diabetes, heart disease, pretty much every organ system in the body. Over 1,500 papers, therapeutic potential for 170 diseases. In broad strokes, it works by fucking electrolyzing water into hydrogen and oxygen, and then you breathe that shit and you drink the water that it's bubbled through. And these gases are, negatively charged and shit, and they get into every cell of your body. It's probably how magical healing springs work, at least partially. The water is hydrogen enriched. Now, the PAZNIA Department of Health and Wellness has run R&D on these machines for about 4 years, and the top machine being recommended right now is the Lord's Hydrofix by Holy Hydrogen. And can you believe it? We have a coupon code for a product that isn't on our own fucking store. There's a first time for everything, so save a fat chunk of change on the Department of Health and Wellness's top recommended machine, and support Cloak and Dagger at the same time by heading on over to holyhydrogen.com and inputting coupon code VONU100 to get $100 off your Lord's Hydrofix. You're going to want to do your own research on this. The Molecular Hydrogen Institute website can help you with that. There's you can use whatever resources you want. There's a huge body of research on this. You know as well as I do, hopefully, that there are a lot of bullshit health tonics and gimmicks being hawked out there. The Brown's gas is one of the truest, most powerful tonic treatments out there in the world by far. When you learn for yourself how much of a health and wellness bombshell molecular hydrogen truly is, you're going to see why having your own machine is truly worth the investment. These machines are a bit costly, okay? I'm not going to lie to you, but they last for ages, and they may help you save on health costs in the long run. Nothing's a bigger deal than your health, so pony the fuck up. Go to holyhydrogen.com, use coupon code VONU100, Victor Oscar November Uniform 100. Get $100 off.
Hey guys, Scott here for Liberty Under Attack Publications. Looking for a Liberty-focused publisher? Liberty Under Attack publishes books and strategy guides for individuals looking to increase their personal freedom. They assist authors through the entire publishing process: proofreading, editing, cover designs, paperback and Kindle formatting, and full audiobook narration and post-production. Tell them Scott sent you and get 20% off a full service deal. To get some one-of-a-kind books or for more information, visit libertyunderattack.com.
Liberty Under Attack Publications is your source for all things self-liberation. Featuring high-quality agorist and anarchist fiction, Paul Rosenberg's A Lodging of Wayfaring Men and his The Breaking Dawn are two great starts. The Brushfire series by Matthew Wojtecki is stellar, #Agora, and more.
Save Bitcoin or fiat by buying a bundle, such as the Strategy Sample Pack, wherein you can explore a few different strategies to the problem of freedom. At current, Vonu, Ben Stone's vision, and Second Realm book on strategy. And once you're inspired to take action in your own life, head on over to the Ghost Pads and Privacy Tools tab to get yourself a ghost phone and ghost pad, and secure your communications from both the public and private spies. Stock up your home apothecary with items from Aura's Apothecary, Black Drawing Salve, Comfrey Salve, Natural Insect Repellent, and much more. And finally, the newest addition, PAZNIA Farms canned goods, cowboy candy, pickles, salsa, etc. Of course, all of the canned goods and the apothecary items are made with the highest quality ingredients, some grown here at the homestead. Head on over to libertyunderattack.com, again libertyunderattack.com, to check out our full catalog or to place your order today. Bitcoin accepted and preferred. Email if you'd like to pay with XMR, shane@libertyunderattack.com, or if you'd like to place an international order. Again, libertyunderattack.com. Liberty Under Attack Publications. Share your story. Find your freedom.
Rayo, Shadrach, hide the guns and the drugs. We about to finna be back on the air.
This is the Life and Times of P.A.Z.NIA, a monthly news show from Veritas. Now, your humble hosts, Rayo2 and Shadrach.
God damn it, Willie. There's a mute button, guy. All right, and welcome back to the Life Times of P.A.Z.NIA, a monthly news show from Veritas here on the PAZNIA Radio Network. If you were wondering what you heard as we came back from break, General Willie doesn't know how to utilize the mixing board as well as he should by now, so hopefully he exercises better security culture going forward. But maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, let's get serious with it here. So, Second Realm Strategy Session. This is segment number 4 here on the it's an inaugural episode, and also as we go forward, we dive deeper into solutions, strategies, practical things, etc. So for today, I don't know. I guess the inspiration for this one was just critical Second Realm needs, and this was before. I guess I started coming up with these. I don't know, end of January, something like that. Whatever. Whenever the hell it was, but just stuff that we need. There's some entrepreneurial stuff on here. There's I don't know what some of these might be considered, but there's stuff that we need and not we need them now. So first off, mail forwarding services. This is one of those potential entrepreneurial ventures for the right security culture minded freedom pioneer proxy merchant. Which is, I definitely don't have the time or energy to implement this one myself, but I mean, it's logistically for simple, for general mail and packages. It's really not that complex. I mean, there's some security culture considerations which I'll get to here momentarily. General mail and packages for privacy, pretty simple. Now the upsell, and this is where this is where you can charge a premium for your service, because there you don't have competition, or I mean, at least at the start you won't have competition. But for people that need not just mail forwarding services, but they need a nice actual physical residency for like a driver's license, official mail, etc. So yeah, like if yeah, someone can be anywhere in the world, but quote unquote, get residency at this address and get documents. Get all their. It's a good legal interstice. It's a good legal interstice. And when we get down the road, and this is kind of Shadrach's forte. But yeah, eventually, logistics network participants can plan routes to deliver packages. Bypassing first-round logistics entirely.
Yep.
Now there are some security, I guess some considerations here. And again, this will be, it's very highly, and it depends on your situation and what you're working with and all sorts of details that I don't know. So this is just kind of, again, all this is very, very general. Again, this is second round strategy session. We're talking about strategy, not necessarily tactics. So yeah, yeah, I guess the first thing that comes to mind, if you're getting a bunch of mail or packages for people, if you're with different names, if you have a house or a condo or something like that, and even if it's not necessarily real, but if you have like two different like numbers on the front and the back of the house, or something like that. I don't know, and the post office didn't care about that shit. I've mailed enough packages where if it's it's just a private mailbox, it doesn't pop up on the post office and they don't think twice about it. So you could have 1, 2, 3, or 4 different just something that came to mind. Or a kind of along the same line of thought, a business with multiple tenants. It's easier to blend in with a bunch of mail and packages, but I don't know. Again, depending upon situation, maybe you have everyone send mail to the same name, and that could bypass all those other considerations. Maybe those aren't the biggest ones, but just some thoughts. I know that both of those are necessary. The mail forwarding service and kind of permanent mailboxes, kind of like what South Dakota offers. But what do you got? What do you got, Shadrach?
Yeah. Another thing you can do is you can put an envelope inside of another envelope, and then you mail those all to the same place. And then the person there can open them up and then route them. But the real thing is having a trusted person that you have one point of contact who knows where you actually live. And that was kind of the idea behind A to B. And thanks, Thane, for mentioning that. But the idea is that you want to get the package as close as you can, and then you've got one trusted person who can take it the rest of the way.
Yeah, and like the alongside this, alongside this is the logistics part too, which overlaps with kind of the mesh networking stuff. Which maybe we can talk about that more. I don't know. I guess that's a good time because I guess that ties in better now than anywhere else. But I know it was the first time that I met you. It was kind of a big connection. Like, of course, mesh networks and the logistics overlap, or of course, like communications and logistics overlap naturally. So these things kind of need to develop together to a certain extent. And the mesh, there's a lot of focus on the mesh networking, and that's great. And thankfully, this is an easier problem. It's not like there's not a whole lot of research and development to do for like handling mail. So yeah, I don't know if you're if you're one of them, first home real estate agent, you deal with a lot of real estate or something like that, and you've got a place you can use, or I don't know what the situation is, but yeah, I know at least a couple people, and it seems, if I advertise a service, it seems there's always some folks interested. So yeah, I'm definitely willing to help and push people in your direction. Free advertising. How often do you get that that offer? So we want to help bring this stuff into fruition, however it happens, for sure.
Well, yeah, right now it's all just the basics, the primitives that we're developing. So really, it takes it's a hard problem because you need the demand to grow with the supply in an organic way. So it's challenging. The best we've come up with is having different cities kind of focus on their local area. And then one of the things we're working on is the multi-city transit. So you get it to the city, and then they can handle it from there.
Yeah.
But also on the leases, yeah, if you're like, I'm pretty doxed in the first realm, so like I have rental properties all around the country, and that I'm on the lease for, but then you can have other people stay who are under the radar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's yeah, kind of exactly what I'm thinking. Exactly along those lines. But yeah, anyone out there, get on it. You can reach out to me, or you can hop in the PAZNIA Simplex chats, and there will definitely be, whether it's me or Thane or Shadrach or somebody else, we'll be there to help.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess the next one here, second realm wellness. Over the past, I don't know, what's it been? Past 3 or 4 years, yeah, I've had a number of folks reach out for assistance and consultation for health and wellness concerns, which is weird. I never thought I'd enter. I never thought that'd be a part of the life, but whatever. But for more minor things, remote's fine. It works. Yeah, it works. But like me, there are many other folks facing tough chronic conditions, and many more that will be poisoned and made unwell by Babylon Pharmaceuticals. And if you don't have your health, nothing else fucking matters, right? So yeah, it's time to take some initiative on this. Really, really is time to take some initiative on this. And before the Consulate Fire, I was kind of starting to. I was getting around to entertaining this idea of a sort of off-grid wellness shed. The idea is something along the lines of a freedom pioneer in need of a healing retreat, whatever that entails, reserves the Veritas Wellness Shed, which would be stocked full of general wellness and healing modalities, things like red light therapy, infrared sauna blanket, Brown's gas, hydrogen machine, right frequency healing, etc. Foundational healing and rebalancing, regardless of what you're dealing with, everyone can really benefit from these things. Creating the optimal environment would be another way to put it. Then yeah, comes the more targeted approach. Depending upon the dis-ease or imbalance, that could be a lot of different things. I could come up with my own potential, if it were me in that position, here is what I would do for the self-liberator, to put it in that terminology. Or that could be outsourced to an in-network vetted naturopath or practitioner in the future, which that's in the works. Is in the works. Then yeah, we can make the healing happen. Regardless, the point is this: communications and mesh networking are obviously majorly important, as we've already discussed. But I would put this as equivalent importance, at least. Again, if you're too sick or fatigued to even get out of bed, becoming invulnerable to coercion is a moot point. And the reason I think this is worth looking at is like this is a model that could be like a model that could be developed and replicated at other PAZNIA nodes. And speaking from experience, no matter how much I wish it weren't the case, help is oftentimes necessary with anything, and especially these complex health scenarios. So yeah, I tried for quite a while to deal with it myself, and it was very too complex, and then it was trying to find the right help. And when you're trying to find the right help for things like this, a lot of those folks are in the shadows because the people that solved these solutions before were killed or imprisoned for filing, I guess, yeah, for curing incurable diseases. So yeah, that's yeah, I guess I'll wrap up real quick, and I'd love to get your thoughts, Shadrach. But it's kind of the shitty part is we're further behind now than when I initially put out the fundraising request for the wellness shed. That is before the Consulate Fire. Which yeah, it is rough. It's rough whether it's wellness or mesh networking. These things need to be done like last year. Preferably before all these hardware shortages and the more expensive costs that come along with it. I'm not one for fear mongering, but yeah, it's a bit concerning to say the least. Anyway, if there are any Bitcoin or Monero angel funders out there, this is a damn good time to reach out to make a huge impact when it's easier to make it happen. It'll be easier today or next week to make it happen than it will be next year. So yeah, if there's any resources that can be mobilized, this is a damn good time to do it. The PeerTube instance, our PAZNIA library, is funded. Along with that, the low data audio feed should be too. And then along with the mesh networking stuff, yeah, that'll coincide with the radio too. But yeah, there's plenty of other projects, but yeah, I don't know. The only two real pressing ones at this point are wellness and mesh networking communications, kind of in that order. And logistics, as we said, it's a close and associated 30. They're all interconnected, which kind of makes it difficult. You got to build them all to build one.
That's kind of where I keep getting stuck. Like when I started with the logistics, it's like, oh wait, we need this next, and we need this, and we need this above that. And wellness is huge, and people don't consider things like getting out of cities with like massive radio frequency bombardment. It can take a couple weeks to really like kind of settle down, and we're used to elimination diets and things, but we really need radio frequency diet elimination as well to kind of get a baseline.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I'm right there with you. And yeah, I certainly have much else to say. We got complex problems to solve, and we got to make it happen. So yeah, again, any angel funders out there, we could definitely use some assistance there. Now for I guess one and the last kind of portion of this that I have. Or I guess there's a couple sections actually. Never mind, we're not the last one yet. But yeah, second round funding in general. That's it's great. We have a PAZNIA general fund that's helped out a lot of folks. Just regular donations helped me, and it helped a lot of people on the network. But it'd be nice if we could have like some self-finance, or I guess some financing avenues for PAZNIA. And my mind's always racing in kind of wild directions. A lot of these are not realistic or good ideas, and these ones might not be either, but that's why we're kind of these are the distilled down ones, so be thankful for that. Anyway, so yeah, I guess yeah, go ahead Shadrach.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the really exciting things for funding that we've been working on is it's called Angor, and it's a way of funding projects where you have to meet milestones, and if you fail to meet a milestone, that the investors can kind of claw back their investment. So you split things up. So like for the wellness shed, it might be like phase 1, you establish this, and so you get all the funding for that phase. And once you reach that phase, it releases the funding for the next phase. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a really ingenious way, and it's also fully self-custodial, anonymous donation. So it's a really good platform. That's angor.io, and okay. The second we've been waiting for the second version to come out to launch a bunch of projects.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's I'm not familiar with that one. So yeah, that's good to hear about. So,
but yeah, we'll get PAZNIA on there.
Oh yeah, sounds good. So yeah, I guess the first note here is that these projects, to be collaborative in nature, would be intended to provide freelancers, contractors with maybe a side hustle, as well as raise money for PAZNIA. Like a win-win-win sort of situation for everybody. Or to put it in Trailer Park Boys' term, we're trying to get multiple birds stoned at once here. The ideas. So the first one, non-custodial based crypto gambling site. Now this one's a bit degenerate, but whatever. As of late, admittedly, I've gotten back into NFL football a bit. I played back in the day, and I do really appreciate it. The game's fine and all, but more so for the fact that, like UFC, the more you get the shit kicked out of you, the easier it is to get back up. As well as the almost violent motivation to never let something like that happen again. So I think there's value in football, and this kind of gets. Anyway, getting on to this part, I've been looking for the past year or two for a non-KYC gambling site. I found a few, but none that I was particularly searching for, none that I felt were trustworthy, and none that I found that were non-custodial. Now, sports gambling is huge now, and again, it's not necessarily a good thing. But I think it's time to return. If it's going to be there, it's time for it to return to the shadows. Back like when the New York Giants and the Bears are both mafia-owned families that basically controlled the illicit gambling. Probably controlled a lot of the illicit gambling going on. The old mob boss families. And it's time to take it back into the shadows. Only the non-coercive shadows outside of the mob families. So hey, if we're gonna do something like this, we might as well do it right. Return back to the shadows and the counter economy. And I guess the few key points: privacy-friendly, non-KYC, and non-custodial. So in terms of risk and coercion mitigation, the non-custodial part would knock out one liability. But it's still not a risk, and it's still not a risk-free endeavor. And I don't have the skills or expertise to bring something like this into fruition. But given the right team of self-liberators, this is one of those ventures that I think could actually be a side hustle for individuals as well as the network in general. Though, yeah, necessarily branding for this would not include or mention PAZNIA. It would essentially be entirely separate. But yeah, I'll pause there. So Shadrach, you mentioned you sent me a couple last night that were like Bitcoin Nostr related, and they were I checked them out and they were cool. They weren't exactly they're there and they exist, so that's a major first step, considering this is just a wild idea of mine. But yeah, I guess you got any insight or thoughts on this one? Ooh, you there, Shadrach? Maybe not.
Well, first of all, can you hear me okay? I've
Okay.
got a red thing.
Okay, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I think there might be like a 15 or 20 second delay.
No. I've got a Oh, wow. Yeah, I've got a big red poor connection. I don't know what happened to my
Maybe
thing, but
rejoin, maybe see if that refresh.
Yeah, let me try that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, he is rejoining and getting that figured out. He's already back. Let's see if that resolved it. Yep, you're back green and you're moving.
Cool. Yeah, I had mentioned the BOW networks, but you mentioned the role for. I think people have to get on there and start putting bets. So, like, if nobody puts a bet for a sports game, then nobody's going to counter the bet. So you kind of have to start seeding a lot of these things. So even if you, since it's anonymous, you can kind of put bets on either side, and then just build up the pot, and then advertise it, and just say like, come to this site and vote.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I haven't done. Yes. So there's a lot of considerations there. Yes. Like I guess the one that the regulation, like I guess fairness in gambling or something. And again, like I don't like these regulated, but you got to be aware of like what they come after you for these sorts of things. And yeah, it would be very hard, especially if it's anonymous like that. I don't know. Like that's a hurdle.
I mean, they're already doing it with that one. They keep like every time we go to war, like somebody places a massive bet right before. Polymarket, yeah.
Oh yeah, like on February 27th, someone found out that was in the room that knew about the Iran war and made like $1 million or $1 billion or something. The day before it was announced. Yeah. No, that shit definitely happens.
Yeah.
So
I think using Predix, Richard Greaser's been going off about Predix, which is pretty cool. And then the BOW Networks is a Nostr-based one that's fully non-custodial, anonymous.
Okay. Well, I will put those in the show notes, and I'll investigate them further myself. Yeah, because it's a much bigger problem. It's a big problem. If this is going to come up, a solution that's developed from the ground up. So, I appreciate those suggestions, and I'll start tooling around myself. Now this other one was discussed on one of our PAZNIA SecRealm assemblies, a meeting of our Department of Technology. Which, damn, it's been a long time. We did like 2 or 3 of those within like 3 or 4 months. That was like 2023. We've never done one again. Maybe we should do that. Be good. Maybe we'll do that for one of our shows. Just a PAZNIA SecRealm assembly. Anyway, yeah, this was another avenue for funding. And again, I guess this one's easier. I at least kind of know the steps for this one. But it'd be setting up our own PAZNIA Bitcoin / Monero mines. And again, this would be a collaborative project. You're in a position, and have the knowledge for some miners. You mine some Bitcoin, Monero, keep some for payment and maintenance, and the rest goes into the PAZNIA General Fund. And maybe we help with investment in the miners. I don't know. it's all open to negotiation, all that. But we talked about this, and I like the idea. I like the idea. Non KYC Bitcoin, and then and I think we also talked about a potential like benefit for people that become stakeholders. You get like 1% of it, like some sort of passive income. Like I don't know what the details would be, but you know what I'm saying, where it could be a perk for a stakeholder benefit. Like maybe you get some KYC free PAZNIA Bitcoin. I don't know.
Well, if we really grow out the running sovereign nodes and home servers, I got started with Monero mining because you could use basically, like, instead of doing SETI at home and things like that, you could mine Monero with your spare CPU cycles. So Monero is really, really unique in that.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so Monero would be a lot easier to, I guess, bootstrap.
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Now, Bitcoin mining is great if you can do heat reuse. So there's a lot of applications with like hot tubs and water heaters, food dryers.
Yeah, that's true. One of the hopefully we'll get on there soon. But one of Thane's guests she was supposed to be there last Saturday, but wasn't able to make it. He's up in Canada, and he's into Bitcoin, but he's more of like a tradesman. So that's what he does up in Canada. Is he repurposed all of his heating and cooling and everything to power Bitcoin miners. So yeah, like that's the optimal situation, of course, for sure, to where you're generating Bitcoin when you're creating heat for your house.
During South by Worldwide, I did an interview with Rev Hodl, who happened to win Maxi Madness on Nostr. But he makes maple syrup, and he uses Bitcoin miners to heat the syrup up before he puts it into the condenser machine or whatever. He does sous vide rabbits, seals them up in a bag and uses miners to cook them. He's got a Bitcoin mining dryer. And then recently he did a Bitcoin miner air conditioner, which was pretty incredible. I don't know all the technical details, but there's this powder that it holds water and releases water really easily under heat, and he was actually able to cool down water 10 degrees using a Bitcoin miner.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely end goals for sure. Definitely end goals.
Oh yeah.
So I'll mention, what about you, dear listener? Are there any critical SecRealm needs on your mind? Do you just want to call? You just want to troll on this fine Saturday evening? You can give us a call, PAZNIA.com/call2, or leave messages in the PAZNIA Radio Network SimpleX chat, which is still hopping. Nothing relevant to this to our show, I don't think. But that's PAZNIA.com/SimpleX Radio. Or you can leave a message at xmrchat.com/PAZNIA Radio. Again, xmrchat.com/PAZNIA Radio. PAZNIA.com/SimpleX Radio, or PAZNIA.com/call2. But while we wait, a message from the PAZNIA Department of Health and Wellness. Have you ever heard of Brown's gas? What about molecular hydrogen? Hydrogen is used by health professionals, both mainstream and otherwise. It's a powerful antioxidant with big therapeutic potential when it comes to cancer, type 2 diabetes, digestive and heart issues, and essentially every organ and system in the body. At present, there are over 1,500 research papers suggesting potential in 170 different diseases, and the research is ever growing. This is largely due to hydrogen being the smallest molecule, having the ability to cross every membrane or barrier in the body. Have you ever heard of natural healing springs? Well, there's probably other variables at play. They're certainly hydrogen-rich. And of course, the PAZNIA Department of Health and Wellness has been conducting R&D on multiple hydrogen machines for various purposes over the past 4 or so years. And the current recommendation for health right now is the Lord's Hydrofix by Holy Hydrogen. And can you believe it? You can get yourself your own Lord's Hydrofix machine, and to support the PAZNIA Radio Network, just head on over to holyhydrogen.com. Again, holyhydrogen.com. Use coupon code Vonu100 and save $100 on your own Lord's Hydrofix. If you'd like to do some research, you really should. It's a bigger but highly worthwhile investment. I know, like being able to, charge up your own water, you get into a routine of charging your own water and only drinking. charged water. If you use supplements or use liquid supplements or anything, it'll help with bioavailability. So I use all my supplements in the Brown's gas water. And it's a heck of a machine. And if you were for a couple months, I did buy the hydrogen tablets, but you're paying like $40, at least $40 a month, and you're not getting near the benefits. You're getting a small like 8-ounce glass of water with a little bit of hydrogen. Doesn't compare at all. Doesn't compare. So yeah, again, holyhydrogen.com. Coupon code Vonu100 and save $100 at checkout. And I don't think we're gonna have any callers or any additional messages pertaining to the show. There's a heated debate going on in the chat. Seems like a very highly autistic, deeply libertarian philosophical conversation. But which there's no criticism or faults there, just statements of fact. But anyway, Shadrach, I guess we might wrap up before the 2-hour mark, but that's okay. We got a little bit of feel for how the show will go, and a little idea of the format, and now it exists. So we'll build it. We'll continue to build it. But any other closing thoughts for the listeners? Any other ideas? Anything we didn't get to? Anything you want? Yeah, I mean, if you got a topic idea you want to talk about too, you can drop that in. We don't got to wrap up immediately. Yeah, what you got?
No, I think we need more agorist markets, circular economies. We got to keep it within our circles and our people. Every time you spend fiat on crap on Amazon and stuff, you're just feeding the beast. So really, really look at every dollar you spend. And then also look at every security camera you see while you're walking around the street and realize how much we need digital sovereignty.
Yeah, certainly well said. Thanks Shadrach. I'm looking forward to next month.
Hell yeah.
It'll looking forward to everyone after that. So cheers, brother. Hope you have a good time wherever you are up in the North Atlantic. I'm not sure what you're up. I mean, sure it's pertaining to SiteGround and Bitcoin and Nostra and all that cool stuff, and I'm sure there's a lot you can't talk about. But I'm excited for you and whatever transpires.
Well, we've got a crack team working on the alternative internet, Meshtastic, FIPS, all the different. We're no stones left unturned. We're gonna figure this shit out.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks again, Shadrach. I'll leave you to your. It's past. Well, it's almost 2 a.m. there now. I'll let you get to bed.
We just went into a brand new time zone I never knew about. It's wet, and we just turned into west, which is so while we were talking, it's almost 3 a.m. So
3 a.m. Oh wow. Okay.
Yep.
Well then, get some sleep then. Get some sleep. And looking forward to next time, man. And we'll be in touch.
Thank you for everything you do, and shout out to Thane. Really appreciate all of his advice. So I love what we're doing here.
For sure, man. For sure, and we're honored to have you be a part of it. For the listeners, as we begin to close out here, next month's show will happen either April 18th or the 25th, third or fourth Sunday each month. I'm thinking probably the 25th, but we'll reassess and figure it out. It doesn't really matter that much, I don't think. But we'll get that ironed out.
I'll be flying on the 18th. I just booked my flight, so
okay, so 25th.
Yeah.
So I guess we're settled. We're locked in then. So 25th for next month. In the meantime, leave messages for the show on Simplex. Although, if you want a message, for the show, like maybe specifically mention it or tag me or something, because there's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to track all that back. Leave a message on Simplex, xmrchat.com/PAZNIA radio. You can always send me an email. I know Thane calls me Boomer Rayo for still liking email, but I like email, and you can use PGP if you want to. Coordinator@PAZNIA.com is the email address. Feel free to submit leads for our Freedom Pioneer Focus segment. If you happen to know anyone doing cool shit in the realm of self-liberation, some video clips, podcasts, etc., would be helpful to pull some content from if I do a video. I guess
just the second on that, one of the real things I think we're missing is global collaboration and communication on this stuff. We've got people working on stuff in the Czech Republic, and nobody in England knows about it. And then we're just in our own little bubbles in the U.S. So really, let's make this global.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess if you or somebody else, I mentioned a thing, it would be cool to have like a Cloak and Dagger Iran war correspondent. So if you know anyone that's that is doing open source drone warfare, probably utilize excellent security culture and don't put them in contact with us. But thank you. Yeah. Anyway, I guess we'll leave it there. But yeah, thanks a lot, Shadrach. For the listeners, as we officially begin to wrap up this Self-Liberation Saturday, I'll close out as Thane does. I'll close out with a quote, and then we'll close out with some more PRN outro deprogramming. But this quote from Bill Cooper is one of my favorite ones of all time, and I will read it here for you. Quote: "Like it or not, everything is changing. The result will be the most wonderful experience in the history of man, or the most horrible enslavement you can imagine. Be active or abdicate. The future is in your hands." End quote. So with that, onward to more PAZNIA Radio Network deprogramming. Have a good rest of your evening and a great rest of your weekend. We'll catch you next time. Cheers.
You're listening to the PAZNIA Radio Network.
The Vonu Insurance Company, ensuring your liberation. If there's one universal certainty, it's that life comes at us all quite unexpectedly. 1 second, you're making sweet love to your freemate. Inside the homemade polyethylene, a tent. Mount Vesuvius is nearing eruption and bam. In comes a 40-foot oak tree. A good fucking day to you from the Siskiyou. It's moments like those you wished you had Vonu insurance. Or this very real example, you took Rayo's advice and decided to join a ghetto. One night you discover that your homeless meth head neighbor jacked your fucking shopping cart and the few belongings you owned to obliterate whatever remaining brain cells he had left. For the very low cost of 666,666 satoshis, or equivalent value in Monero per day, this near disaster could have been quickly remedied by the caring Freedom Pioneer support team here at the Vonu Insurance Company. Got an e-bike to insure. A decommissioned aircraft carrier. Maybe you've cracked the code to anti-gravity and built your own identified flying object. No venture or item is too big or too small. Prepare ahead and get under the umbrella of protection only the Vonu Insurance Company can provide. Minimize your stress, curtail risk, and outsource your liberation today, while we take your hard-earned money for doing fuck all. Just visit VonuInsured.com, fill out the intake form, and a dedicated member of our Freedom Pioneer support team will be in touch within 24 hours or 30 days. Again, VonuInsured.com. The Vonu Insurance Company, ensuring your liberation.
Now, when it comes to weird alternative health shit, you may have heard of Brown's gas, boss, aka molecular hydrogen. Technically, actually, molecular hydrogen is just one part of what Brown's gas is, but whatever. It's a kind of wellness treatment used by health professionals and weirdos all over the world, both mainstream and otherwise. They got gas bars in Japan and shit. Big body of research showing that this therapy likely helps with pretty much everything: cancer, diabetes, heart disease, pretty much every organ system in the body. Over 1,500 papers, therapeutic potential for 170 diseases. In broad strokes, it works by fucking electrolyzing water into hydrogen and oxygen, and then you breathe that shit and you drink the water that it's bubbled through. And these gases are, negatively charged and shit, and they get into every cell of your body. It's probably how magical healing springs work, at least partially. The water is hydrogen enriched. Now, the PAZNIA Department of Health and Wellness has run R&D on these machines for about 4 years, and the top machine being recommended right now is the Lord's Hydrofix by Holy Hydrogen. And can you believe it? We have a coupon code for a product that isn't on our own fucking store. There's a first time for everything, so save a fat chunk of change. on the Department of Health and Wellness's top recommended machine, and support Cloak and Dagger at the same time by heading on over to holyhydrogen.com and inputting coupon code VONU100 to get $100 off your Lord's Hydro Fix. You're going to want to do your own research on this. The Molecular Hydrogen Institute website can help you with that. There's whatever, you can use whatever resources you want. There's a huge body of research on this. You know as well as I do, hopefully, that there are a lot of bullshit health tonics and gimmicks being hawked out there. The Brown's gas is one of the truest, most powerful tonic treatments out there in the world by far. When you learn for yourself how much of a health and wellness bombshell molecular hydrogen truly is, you're going to see why having your own machine is truly worth the investment. These machines are a bit costly, okay? I'm not going to lie to you, but they last for ages and they may help you save on health costs in the long run. Nothing's a bigger deal than your health, so pony the fuck up. Go to holyhydrogen.com. Use coupon code VONU100. Victor Oscar November Uniform 100. Get $100 off.
Life is a continuous confrontation with forks in the road. One is good, one is bad. And you could always wander completely off the road altogether and become lost. Totally and completely lost. If you take the wrong fork at one of these junctions, there is always the opportunity at the next fork to get back on track. But it is a constant battle within ourselves. You see, I have studied this concept for many, many years, and I have to tell you that if there is a real devil, like Flip Wilson used to say, the devil made me do it. Now, I'm not telling you that there's no such thing as Satan or Lucifer. I'm telling you this. If there really is a devil, that devil exists in the hearts and minds of men and nowhere else. Nowhere else. For if you take man out of the equation, evil ceases to exist, and there is left only the laws of the universe and the balance of nature. Put man in the equation, and before long, evil will rear its ugly head and present itself to the world. The evil is within man, and that is why it was called the fall. The devil never made anyone do it. If you do it, you did it yourself because you fell into temptation. For until man once again confronts the real nature of his own condition and of the world around him and accepts full responsibility for his actions without blaming anyone else or any devil, until then we will always be a puppet on the end of someone else's string. And ladies and gentlemen, when that someone pulls that string, we will dance.
This is the basic law of life, and dear listeners, it is spiritual in its nature. If man failed to do everything in his power to protect his life, as a result of such neglect lost his life, then the destiny for which the soul came to earth would end there. Without life, a body or medium to function through, spiritual attainment would be impossible, ladies and gentlemen. Spirituality would then be forfeited. You see, if man's life was threatened without cause on his part, and he failed to do everything in his power to prevent death, he would then be guilty of 3 actual crimes. He would first of all permit the enemy to commit murder. Next, he would be committing suicide by failing to protect the most precious possession given to man by his Creator. And worst of all, he would end whatever his destiny might be, the purpose for which body, mind, and life had been given to him. And I believe it's to learn something. In one respect, man is forced to be a warring, not a murdering creature. And I might inject here that the Ten Commandments does not say, in its original form, thou shalt not kill. It says, ladies and gentlemen, and you can check this, if you wish, go to the original Hebrew and Greek, it says, thou shalt not murder. So in one respect, man is forced to be a warring, not a murdering creature. From his birth, the law of self-preservation forces him to be on guard against every inimical force attempting to destroy him by one means or another. He must be on the alert to prevent man, natural forces, or his own carnal desires to betray him into acts of degradation. Man is a warring creature. But his war, I tell you, his war is an honorable one. It is one of protection. First himself, so that he may protect those he is responsible for, but in doing so must not take unfair advantage of others, nor be guilty of unrighteousness. The nature of this was and is actually spiritual. It is the battle of righteousness against evil. It is a war biblically spoken of as taking place in heaven because it is waged within man's spiritual nature. He fights to fulfill destiny and to finally create heaven on earth for himself and others who follow. By the war of righteousness, wherein there is no selfishness, he attains the consciousness which makes him a man, knowing both good and evil, having chosen good to attain the promised sonship. Notice, you must choose. You must choose. Each and every one of you listening to this broadcast tonight must choose, and you must choose very quickly. You might ask, is there actually a need for some form of evil in the life of man? Was this, together with some form of fear, ordained in the beginning? And I say nothing has been ordained, but if the divine law is to be fulfilled in the life of man, then it is certainly necessary that he, according to sacred concepts, become a crusader in God's cause, and not exist as a negative, effortless, uncreative, unproductive creature, a leech, a parasite upon the rest. The first command is that he must become a man in the true sense of the term, and this implies that he must prepare himself to meet the enemy that is ever alert to destroy the best that he has created. He must meet evil as the soldier meets the enemy. Doing this in the righteousness of his conscience neutralizes fear. Many of you call and ask me, Bill, aren't you afraid? My answer has always been and always will be no. No, no, and no. For I know from where I have come, and I know where I am going. I know who I am, and I know that I possess a soul. I fear the actions of no man. I fear the judgment of no man. I fear only the judgment of my God. And I know that if I am doing what is right, I need not ever fear that judgment. And therefore, I am not afraid.
You've just heard a transmission of the PAZNIA radio network, the entertainment and propaganda arm of the Free Republic of PAZNIA, a public service of the PAZNIA Free Press. Long live the Second Realm.